I think one of the most special moments on the trip was definitely at one of the dinners we met two girls who were twins, and at first we were just having fun. We were joking around. I couldn't understand them considering they were speaking Mandarin and I only spoke English. But we got a notebook out, started drawing our Chinese names, different sorts of pictures, just messing around in general, and we were having a sweet time. But then later, eventually we started talking about other stuff. We started talking about our families, and we talked about how we had so many family members back in America. And at that, one of the girls, her name is Fong Fong, she just stopped and she looked at us and she was like, she wrote down, no, no family. And at first we were confused. We were like, what do you mean by that? And then afterwards, we finally realized that what she was talking about was that she herself had very, very little family because most of them had been killed off by the HIV epidemic. And that really got to me because I couldn't imagine, considering how big my family is, I couldn't imagine having no uncles, aunts, no grandparents. And that really touched my heart, the fact that I met them and I knew they were really great people and that they're definitely really strong and optimistic about themselves. And thankfully now they definitely have a future to look forward because China AIDS Fund is going to help sponsor them to go to college, which is definitely one of their greatest dreams. And considering their grandfather relying on only his income, this would have been impossible without China AIDS Fund. So I really have to say that's been great, that they have a good shot at their future.
So after my brother came back from his trip to China, he shared his experiences with me and my younger brother, and it really touched us. So we were looking for a way to raise money for these kids to receive their college tuition. So all three of us were pretty big tennis players, so we decided to do what we did best, and we contacted our coach who works at a training center, and we helped raise a tennis party, meaning which we invited a bunch of people to come and play tennis. Courts were free, there was free food, there was just basically come and play. We helped play other doctors to raise money to see if they could beat us or win any games. It was really fun, and we think we raised around $13,000, and we helped put this into the kids' tuition and also building the children's center. And that was our way of helping out in America.
When I first met my pen pal, he actually got into college the first time, but he didn't have enough money to go. So when China AIDS Fund gave him the scholarship to be able to go to college, he was so happy. He was so grateful, and he emailed me like many times, like thanking us because he now has the opportunity for a better education, and it just really touched me. Like I don't have to worry about my college education. My dad provides for it, and something like that was just really touching for me.
Well, when we started the program, it was all sort of ideas, but then when we went to China, it became really real, and ideas kind of became a reality because we were able to really meet the kids and really launch what we had been thinking about and what we thought would be a great program, but it became so much more real. And seeing the children made me want to put so much more work into the Pen Pal program than I had done before, because I really saw their living conditions. I saw what they really needed, especially emotionally. They needed a friend, they needed family, and I think it's great because our program provides this kind of emotional attachment for these kids.
Well, I got introduced to the China AIDS Pen Pal program by my father a few months before we went to Henan, and I didn't really know what to expect. I just thought it was some kind of just extracurricular to put on my application, but when I went there, I knew it was like totally something much more. And there was this one girl we met and we interviewed her, and we went into her home, and she told us that her father had died like a year ago in the winter, and it was just her and her mother. And I was looking around at their house, and I could just see this fan on the ceiling. It wasn't on at the time, but I was assuming it could work, but still, how much could that cool you off on such a hot day? And the days that were extremely hot, I couldn't think how they could bear all that, and especially in the winter when they didn't have any heating. So I just thought I just want to do something more for this child and any of them there. So that's when I started. I'd be their pen pal and write to them, and they could have someone to open up to and like show their emotions, because I told them I would be there for them, even though I couldn't like directly speak to them.
I visited some of the kids' homes for the past 2 years, and the homes really didn't have much except for a poorly made bed, not much roofing on top, walls were infested with termites eating the wood. There were no bathrooms. They cooked outside on a fire, and just pretty difficult living conditions.
First of all, I just love kids, and it's been like a really amazing experience, just like talking with the kids and just having fun with them. It's not like Winnie said before, like kids learn to cherish things, and just by being with them and playing games with them, you find out that they can just be happy from like that one day of fun.
I would like to thank my mom for coming with me along to this trip, because like Shanna said, it really did change how I look at things in my life. For example, I gave a girl who was really into studying my pencil sharpener, and she said she would keep it for the rest of her life. One pencil sharpener here isn't that much to us, because I know many people who have like 10 pencil sharpeners. So it shows us to really cherish what we have here in America.
And even by just giving a simple gift like the pencil sharpener, or like fruit snacks, or like these t-shirts that we're wearing, and these caps, we've showed them that like without even like communicating through them by language, we could like talk to kids through our hearts, and that's something really amazing to me.
By writing letters so that we can inspire them every day with what we do, and they can inspire us by showing us how hard they study. We plan to return next year in China.
And well, I'm new to this program, and they currently have nominated me as perhaps new treasurer, and my brothers, Matt and Chris, have told me a lot about this program, and I have great hopes, because hearing about the situation, as we all know, in Hunan with the unfortunate kids, and while there are many kids here that have a lot more than most of those kids in China can hope for. So I hope to spend some of my time volunteering and perhaps gives back and give a little hope and happiness to these kids deprived in China.